There's a kind of stuck that does not look stuck from the outside. It looks thoughtful. It looks intentional. It looks like someone who is preparing carefully, doing their homework, taking things seriously. It looks like progress. There are notes, bookmarks, saved videos, courses started, podcasts queued up, ideas refined and reworded and reimagined. On paper, it looks like movement, but paper can lie. Because thinking about building is not the same as building. And spending months getting ready is not the same as beginning. That's part of what makes this kind of stuck so hard to recognize. You can feel busy and still be unmoved. You can feel informed and still be unchanged. You can feel close to starting and still be standing in the same place. And that's what we're talking about today. Not laziness, not lack of discipline, but that quiet space where preparation becomes a substitute for action. Welcome to Wisdom from the Porch. I'm GP. This is Wisdom from the Porch. Research can feel like forward motion. It gives you language. It gives you frameworks. It gives you the sense that you're getting closer. And in many ways, you are. You understand more than you did before. You can see patterns more clearly. You can anticipate problems you could not name earlier. But there is a line, and it's easy to miss. Because at some point, learning stops feeding action and starts replacing it. And when that shift happens, something subtle changes. You're no longer preparing to move. You're staying where you are with better explanations. This is not a failure of character. It's a form of protection. When something matters, the mind tries to reduce risk. It looks for certainty. It looks for clarity. It looks for a sense of control before exposure. And research offers all of that without requiring vulnerability. You can study without being seen. You can refine without being tested. You can improve an idea without ever placing it in the real world. So the mind leans into that space. Not because it wants to keep you small, but because it wants to keep you safe. But safety and growth don't always move in the same direction. And eventually, that protection starts to cost you something. The cost is not just time, it's distance. Distance between you and the things you're trying to create. Because the longer something exists only in your head, the more fragile it becomes. It has not been tested. It has not been shaped by reality. It has not been challenged, stretched, or strengthened. It's still theoretical. And theory cannot build confidence. Only experience can do that. Only interaction, feedback, friction adjustment. Only those things can turn an idea into something that can actually stand. Without them, everything feels important, but nothing becomes real. There's a moment where preparation starts being a step forward and becomes a place you stay. And it doesn't announce itself. It feels responsible. It feels careful. It feels like you're doing what you're supposed to do. But underneath that, there is a quiet delay. A delay in being seen. A delay in being tested. A delay in finding out what actually works. Because what works cannot be fully predicted. It has to be discovered. And discovery does not happen in isolation. It happens in motion. At some point, the question has to change. Not, do I know enough yet? But what can I make real right now? Not perfection. Not complete. Real. Something that exists outside your mind. Something that can respond. Something that can teach you. Because once something is real, it can begin to move. It can improve. It can evolve. It can show you what no amount of preparation ever could. And that's where momentum begins. Not in certainty, but in contact. When you start, even in a small way, something shifts. You stop guessing and start learning. You stop protecting the idea and start strengthening it. You stop waiting for confidence and start creating it. Because confidence is not built through thought alone. It's built through repetition, through adjustment, through seeing yourself move and realize you can keep moving. And that changes your relationship with the work. It becomes less about getting it right and more about staying engaged. So if you've been in that space, reading, planning, preparing, but not building, maybe the next step is not more information. Maybe it's something simpler, something smaller, something real. What is one thing you can bring out of your mind and into the world today? You can bring out of your mind and into the world today. Because the goal was never to understand everything before you began. The goal was always to begin so you could understand. If this gave you something to sit with, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with one thing you've been holding in the planning stage and share this with someone who's been getting ready for a long time but hasn't started yet. Thank you to Cloud Microphones for supporting these conversations. This has been Wisdom from the Porch. I'm GP. You're always welcome on the porch.